Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's free Game of Thrones. As you can see, unfortunately for all of you, I'm here alone this week because my lovely wife is out, getting real worlded and everything. But, sometimes that happens because there's plenty to talk about with this past week's episode anyway. Welcome to Alexandra in the room and YouTube, as she always is. Thank you for stopping by. All right, Alexandra, start dumping your comments there because you said that you weren't, that you hated 803 by the end. So I know that a lot of people had many strong opinions about this one, and I can understand that they would have, and I hear myself somewhere, so pardon me while I mute everything. There we go. Luckily, that wasn't up too loud. And now we're live again and all good. All right, so Game of Thrones last week while Alexandra types. Alexandra's my co-host this week. You didn't know that, did you? All the way from Romania. Nice. I like it. We get lots of viewers from other countries, but hardly any from the US. I wonder why that is. I don't know. Anyway, so let me start off with the definite exciting and fun parts of last week. I had no end of fun going around and watching all the reaction videos that last week spawned from the big moment at the end. Oh, hold on. We gotta find, let me see. I'm sure I got spoilers listed on here somewhere, right? Prime shots. I don't have the spoiler things to throw up there. I thought I did. Didn't I have spoiler? Does that do something? Hey, look at that. That does something. So just so everyone knows, yeah, spoilers for last week's episode of Game of Thrones. I have not seen the leaks from today, so please don't anyone in the room spoil it. Like, apparently someone did last week, but luckily it was such a weird conglomeration of people that I had completely forgotten about it. Yeah, it was weird, but you get what you get. So yeah, the reaction videos were great because at the end of the episode you had but by the time that the Night King came in and he was reaching back his hand for that sword to kill Bran, I had completely lost hope. I didn't see any which way out of this. The best thing I was rooting for at that moment was a fade to black so that I could come up with something that would happen in the next week, because they did a expertful job of distracting us from Arya running off like she did. And they the whole episode long, they did a great job with raising the tension, having high action moments, and then slowing it down with personal people moments like Tyrion and Sansa in the crypts. Yeah, those crypts. The crypts turned out not to be nearly as bad as everyone were thinking that they were, because I thought like all this was going to start up from the crypts and people were going to start getting killed and word was going to filter up and then people were going to run down there and try and save the women and children. No, it was just like an extra little side thing. Here, we're going to kill off a couple of you women and children, but not so much. It wasn't nearly as big of a deal as I thought, which was a little bit surprising. So yeah, what else was there? Oh yeah, so by the time, because throughout the whole episode, like they had that, and then they had the slow scene. I don't know about slow, but the quieter, tense scene of Arya in the library, and a fair amount of the dragons flying around was a lot quieter and a lot calmer. So as to get you going, the ups and downs, and by the time you got to the very end there, when he was about to pull out that sword, I was entirely down. There was nothing going on, and then all of a sudden you see her come out of the fog, like, I don't know, something that comes out of fog, and you're immediately like, ah, and then she gets caught in midair by the throat, and it's like, oh no, that's really sad. And then you see her use a move similar to a move we've seen her use before, and then you're like, oh, is this gonna happen? And then it does happen. And not only did it happen, it like happened all over the place. It was like Night King just exploded a lot quicker than I thought that he would. Although, hey, Mike, how you doing? Simply Your Device is in the Twitch chat. Thanks for watching on the Twitches. there. Have to get my media empire going everywhere, right? That's how this is supposed to go. Anyway, so oh, you don't even watch Game of Thrones, so thank you extra for tuning in, brother dear. Like, I'm glad that they didn't give him a hey, there's no need to publicize that, brother. Thank God there's no one here in this room. What was I about to say? Hold on, I'm saying something, but I'm trying to click on 14 things at once too. Okay. Sorry everyone. What was I? Where was I? Oh, yeah. So it was great that they didn't give him like a super long melodramatic send off and all, but I mean, stuff exploded like really quick, and I guess the same thing happened when Jon killed that White Walker before with his Valyrian steel. He just exploded into ice shards and all, so I could kind of see that. But especially after how he was able to withstand that dragon fire, it seemed improbable that he was going to die quite that easy. But you know, now I'm all on board for the people saying, uh-oh, the Night King was Targaryen too, because he could fly dragons and he could stand in dragon fire. Let me tell you, I was hoping that Jon would have taken some dragon fire at the end there, because that would have been cool if he took that and people saw that and were like, how'd you do that? That would have lended credence to his Targaryenness. Oh, maybe that's how they're gonna prove it. Oh, yes, that's how they're gonna end up. He's gonna have to prove it to Dany. Dany's gonna have him spit upon with fire. Yeah, all right. I'm glad I just thought of that. It was good. You know how good that was? That was so good. I gotta clip that. How do I clip things? Oh no. Why is that still showing that? Gonna hit this refresh here. Hopefully that's showing me now. All right, it is, but now it's all out of whack. Anyway. Oh, I lost Alexandra in the YouTube room. Hey, Nigel. Hello, sir. We are talking Game of Thrones. We have not seen it yet over here, and I did not do the leaked episode yet for episode 4. We're commenting on good morning. Uh-oh, it's morning there? 5 hours ahead? Whoa, you're up late. Hello, sir. We're talking about last week's episode. Do you watch Game of Thrones at all by chance? Because if you're ever thinking about it, you should know that this is spoiler filled with everything up until last week's episode. I'm all over the place because I'm here by myself this week, so sorry. Normally I got my lovely wife sitting over there in the number 2 chair, but that didn't happen today because, you know, she's gone out and has a life and things to do. Well, she better get back by 9 o'clock because that show's starting on my TV, because I got to slide right into bed as soon as that puppy's over. Unless something really great happens this week, because that would be cool too. And I hope something so good happens I have to pop on afterwards to give an instant reaction. Anyway, so, yeah, last week wrapped up the Night King stuff. That really seemed to work out pretty good. I know some people, Alexandra was displeased with last week's episode. I know a lot of other people were, because of all everything they seem to be baiting us with Jon Snow being the prince that was promised, and how unstoppable the Night King's army was supposed to be and everything. But if you think about it, the Night King's army was pretty darn unstoppable, and they walked to a relatively easy victory. Shambled, although some of them weren't shamblers. Some of them were like, it was like World War Z moving fast and everything. I especially like the ones that got the got the call to go and throw themselves down on top of the fire so that the other ones could walk over it. That's heroism out of a dead person. Anyway, yeah, so everything seemed like it was just completely gone the Night King's way, and he should have won if it weren't for no one. Yeah, see, that prophecy. If Azor Ahai can't kill the Night King, then no one will. Yeah. I've seen one episode of Game of Thrones, the first episode, and haven't watched it since. Oh, that's too bad. But not all shows are for everyone. So, but thank you for stopping by, chit chat if things are up. Thank you for all the support Friday night. That was an awesome night. I hosted a little thing here, not on any of my channels, but I had 3 other guys in here, and the studio was packed with people, but it worked out pretty well. I think 4 total in here is the right number. I could up it to 5. I could see squeezing one more in here if need be, but what you gonna do? Anyway, so back to Game of Thrones. Yeah, I know people don't like that sound I just made with my mouth. I apologize for that one, but we are chatting and talking about that. So yeah, back to the prophecy. Some people pointed out, like, I don't know, because I haven't read the books and I haven't done all this digging in like lots of other people are. I'm like a not high level experience, like low level, I guess you got to say, Game of Thrones fan. Like, I don't know a ton of the background and all that kind of mess, but I do know about that prophecy about the prince that was promised and Azor, however you say that one. But someone said that the prophecy actually said if Azor Ahai like couldn't kill the Night King, then no one can, and that was the whole moniker thing that Arya, he's forgetting names now. I'm forgetting, just saying them wrong. That Arya was sidled with the faceless people. I don't know. So that was kind of cool. And no matter what, they demonstrated to us that she has the ability to sneak into that Kingswood, because she done that to John when he was in there. So maybe she knows a secret way into there that we don't know. I see all these people with the theory that John, at the very end there, when he was yelling at the dragon, was shouting "Go, go, go," that he saw her in the background, and that's why he stood up to get the dragon's attention so that she could sneak past it. But I'm like, nah, I don't know. Maybe people are insistent that if you put headphones on, you can hear him saying "Go, go, go." I meant to do that before tonight, but there's only so much I can do. Yeah, so what else? If you have any questions about last week's episode, feel free to pop them up in the chat. But like I said, I'm not the super fan, but please, no spoilers for episode 4 coming up, because I know that the episode has leaked. But yeah, I guess it's mainly because we have kids and we just don't have the time during the day to watch it. They leaked this stuff on like Wednesday, we would have found a night to watch it. But I don't even know how to get any of that leaked stuff anymore. When I was young and didn't have nothing to do, but I knew all that cool kind of stuff. Man, getting old sucks, people. Like otherwise, but it is better than the alternative. Anyway, so I did enjoy 803. I enjoyed the experience of 803 a lot, because I was totally bought in. They had me in there emotionally, with the ups and downs. There was no issue for us where we were watching it with people complaining about it being dark. So one of a couple different things. The first one is all the CGI and all that kind of mess is always darker anyway. But it could have gone a little bit to theme of the episode. There was supposed to be a nighttime battle in the middle of a snowstorm that was generated by magic. So there could have been like 50% that, and 50% a lot of people are getting this online, and a lot of people that are getting it online don't have a way to get it up to their TV. But if they do, they're routing it through their phone, and they're like airtiming it to the TV, airplaying it to the TV. And so stuff's going to get pixelated and messed up. But I tried to see the complete episode, but no avail. I did see the spoiler parts, but I'll stay silent. Thank you, Six. I appreciate that. I appreciate your biting your tongue there, because it turns out that we did have someone in chat last week tell us all the people that died last week, and I didn't even know. It was a weird one. Because of the group of now. All right, now this episode right here where we're talking, all spoilers about up to 803, but not 804. The list of people that died last week, like he rattled off everyone that died, and of course it includes the Night King, and so you're like, well, that's just weird. And it was like, Liana and Jorah, and it was just like Barrack. The best meme I saw this past week was they had on the top part it was Hodor, hold the door, and on the bottom part it was Barrack, barricade. I like that one. Anytime you can play fun with a word like barricade, I'm all for it. So 6, you looking forward to this week, even after having seen the spoilers? But don't talk about the spoilers, but just a general yes or no. Are you feeling good about things? Because I got about 43 minutes before stuff goes here. I don't know where you are, 6. What part of the country? Cameo. Yes, Zombie Hodor. That was one of my first thoughts last week when the Night King blew up and everyone blew up and started falling down. I'm like, well, at least we don't have to see Zombie Hodor, because A, it would have been heartbreaking, and 2, yeah, I did that on purpose. He would have wrecked shop on people, because that dude was just, I mean, yeah, you got the giant there that crushed Lyanna with his hand, but you expect that kind of stuff from giants. But like, Hodor's his own special kind of giant. So I'm just glad that we never had to see that, because that would have been sad. As it was, Lyanna died, but she was awesome, and they gave her a fantastic death. And because, I mean, you know, people are going to die. There's Game of Thrones. They don't get out of it. Very excited. It's me from last round. I'm usually first, but Nigel beats me sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, no, I know, 6. Yeah, you followed me here. Good man. Thank you. Yeah, Nigel beat you last week. But that was part of our fault, because we had screwed up entering the room information and everything all over the place. Like Mike made it first, and it was my fault too. So I'm not trying to blame Mike there, but he does usually screw things up. What? Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. We have 3 whole episodes now. So I'm thinking that we got an episode to gather up everyone that possibly can fight Cersei that wants to, because there's not a lot of people left. I know that all our heroes made it. Not all our heroes, but most of our heroes, the people that we were actually watching, made it, but there can't be that many troops left. I love the people. Some people were going so far they were going so far as to say that the Dothraki went and like faked their destruction, and like most of them turned off and went somewhere because they were convinced that if they were going to win this battle, it wasn't going to be good because of the Dothraki, but if they did win the battle, that the Dothraki were needed to fight Cersei afterwards. And I'm like, man, if you're looking ahead that far, that's pretty awesome. But also they kind of showed us they kind of like took that away with lighting up everyone's not that lefts. Anyway, so 6, you mentioned I still can't explain the Mary Sue thing, especially with all her training. People upset about her being a Mary Sue, or you thinking she is a Mary Sue? So let me know, because that conversation can go 2 very different ways. Yeah, so, but I can understand definitely the people that were upset with the Dothraki seemingly just throwing themselves at the zombie horde, because there wasn't really much that they were going to do. Everything I've heard so far, people complain about the trebuchets, not trebuchets, catapults, because no one's going to use a trebuchet, even though it's a much better weapon. Ding. Sorry, D&D nerdery coming through. That the catapults wouldn't have been outside the castle gates, outside and being able to be destroyed. Have you seen how much room is actually inside Winterfell there? They could have like 1 catapult inside if they wanted something there. So if any of this was going to work, all those things were going to be outside. That was stuff that army brought with them, right? I don't think that those catapults were a thing from Winterfell. I think that those were all things that got brought with the... What are those guys? Grey Worm is one of them. That army. Sorry, there's too many details to keep in my head. But I think those catapults came along, and they're like, they were probably even too big to get through the gates. I don't think she is. Sorry, going to 6 in the Twitch comments. I don't think she is, but I can't understand why they call her that. And yes, the tactical plan was a bit weird. Attacking head on seemed rather unplanned. All right, so we got two things to break down. First is, if you're not familiar with the term Mary Sue at all, it's I don't even know the origin of it, but essentially it's unsullied. Thank you, Junior. Hey, and by the way, hello. Yeah, just too many details to keep in my head. So Mary Sue, I don't remember the origin exactly, but I know it's essentially a woman that can do no wrong, and a lot of guys use it against when there's strong female characters, or like, you know, female characters that can do stuff that normally a man does, and it's used as a derogatory thing. Hey Jeff, how's it going? We are talking Game of Thrones through season 8 episode 3. That's last week's show, so there's spoilers about that, but not for any leaks that came out today about season 8 episode 4. So if you haven't seen last week's season 3 episode, you want to bug out now because we're spoiling everything. All right, going back to 6 there. The tactical plan seemed a bit weird. Yes, that's what I was talking about. So the Dothraki charging in there, I think everything the Dothraki and the Unsullied were there just to hopefully buy time for the catapults, because the catapults were throwing fire at the whites, so that could kill them. So that was their best bet in killing off a large amount of whites, you know, aside from the fire-breathing flying dragons that you have. So they were merely there to buy time for the catapults to keep going, even though it didn't really seem like they were shooting all that much, because you would think that it should have, and they should have constantly been going back to that shot. But then again, that shot is a little bit boring, and maybe we were just supposed to infer that that was happening a lot, because otherwise there was no real point to it, because then all you're doing is you're just providing them more troops. I've said this many times, the recruitment method that the Night King has is pretty damn good. So to save budget and get rid of them. Oh, now I think also they had to spur Danny to go do something to throw the plan into idness. I don't know what the word is for that. Going back to 6 in the Twitch chat, is basically what they call Rey from Star Wars, somewhat overpowered, but that's besides the point. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, Jedi themselves are overpowered, so that's an annoyance. That's a whole other thing. But if they go the way that I hope that they're going with Force users, we're just getting rid of the word Jedi. They're going to be called Skywalkers now. That's what I'm hoping and thinking, that that's what Rise of Skywalker means in this title. But that's for a whole other stream. All right, Jeff in the room. The Dothraki, being horsemen, are really only effective while riding, so they had to be used on the field as mobile offensive troops, unfortunately. That is 100% true. But, you know, there's this thing called a flank, and, or, you know, give them, I don't know, fire, because they didn't know that the Red Witch was going to come and light all their weapons on fire. And they were still there with weapons that could do nothing against any undead. So they were just kind of like human meat shields. And we throw that term around a lot as a joke in D&D and other fantasy-based things, but they really are just a meat shield then. Because, I mean, they're great against human enemies, and so that's what gives some credence to that theory that they went off and faked their death so that they can come around the corner. But I don't see them being that. Although they did do that whole episode where they killed off Littlefinger and like didn't let the fans in on that Arya and Sansa were together on the same field, same team, I mean. So maybe they are. That'd be cool, personally, I think. But yeah, so that wasn't gonna happen. So the Dothraki and the Unsullied were out there, and they were just kind of just, you know, slowing them down so the catapults could get some action in. But the whole plan was, they knew the only way they were going, at least they surmised, the only way they were going to really win was to kill off the Night King. And of course that's what happened, but it sure as hell didn't look like it was going to go that way. Keeping a track of my time there. People in chat, let me know if it's getting close to 9 o'clock, because I don't want to miss anything, even though my lovely wife isn't home yet. So that's disturbing, because then I'm at the on the edge of like whether or not, oh no, should I watch it without her? Because I know she'll like come in the first few minutes and everything will be, oh, all right, she's on her way home. Oh no, but she's 15 miles away. I think she can come skating in just in time, so that's good. That's good. But she won't be here with us today to share all her views. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Yes. So this week is them gathering up all the rest of the forces that are left, right? I mean, they're gonna have to pull anyone. There's still an army in Dorne that no one went to get yet because they couldn't, because they were gonna try, and I don't know, everything got jacked up because they knew that they wouldn't be able to get the army from Dorne up to fight the White Walkers. So, and we took a detour that way, but hopefully maybe some of that army can be used to fight Cersei. You still got 2 dragons. That's good. The other side, 0 dragons. But they do have one Bronn who likes to shoot dragons with a great big ballista. And that's about all they got for that. But they, you know, I like how they had him be the one that shot the dragon with the ballista, and then they also gave him the crossbow to go kill Tyrion and Jaime, because that's 8:27. Yes, we are in the same time zone 6. So thank you. Yeah, so I think that's a fun little thing. And I wonder when we're going to see Bronn this week. Are we going to see Bronn, or is he just going to be behind something and just shoots Jaime right in the forehead? Because I hope to God he does not kill Tyrion. I would have been not okay, but better if Tyrion had died in the crypts last night than dying from Bronn. I don't want to have to see that happen and go through that. Well, let's make it clear. I don't want Tyrion dying in any stretch of the means. I want Tyrion, now definitely Arya. I think those are the only 2 that I really want to have live. I'm sure that there's more, but no one I can really think of like right off the bat. Man, it's all quiet in this house. My wife's not here, and just everything gets quiet. It's pretty good. Helen Mira Reed could show up, I hope. The Crenagman and Howland, and oh man, you are deep into the show there, man, because I don't even remember who any of those are. Game of Thrones was something, thankfully, I didn't throw myself into and get into it like I am with Star Trek and everything. But so all right, yeah, just let me know who they are, Jeff, if you don't mind, in the YouTube chat. 6 is saying, could you imagine if it's Jon's wolf that kills Cersei? That would be cool. It's supposed to be Arya though, right? But it's also supposed to be Jaime. I think everyone's just going to kill her. It's going to be like 7 people, like 3 of them stab. You got the wolf biting the throat. It all happens at the same time. Like it's kind of like Caesar. Ooh, Caesar, Cersei. Yeah, everyone just goes around and takes turns stabbing her. At 2, Jaime. Mira's the girl that drug Bran around. Oh yeah, Mira. Okay, yes, Mira. Yes. Sorry, I'm terrible with names too. Who are you? No, I'm just kidding. Well, only because it's got your name right next to your little picture. Mira could show up. That would be cool. Yeah, there's so many different people that we've seen just a little bit. What's your all views on Clegane Bowl, where the Hound and the Mountain have to fight? Like Caesar, see? Oh wait, did you type that as I was saying it or afterward? Yeah, I don't really know if I need Clegane Bowl. It would be awesome and cool because I want anything where the Hound is going to be on screen, because I love that guy. I love the chicken line about eating every chicken in this place. It's just so good the way he says it, and it's so badass. And oh, if only in my dreams I were that badass. Howland is her dad. He leads the men in the neck, the swamplands that bottleneck the north and south from each other. All right. Well, they would be useful. They would prove useful, I'll bet. Yeah, so that would be good. There's lots of people strewn about that I'll bet, like whoever was the one lord that didn't show up for the Night King battle. You know that he's going to want to ingratiate himself to them now. I forget which lord that is. Glover, I think. So maybe he's got an S-ton of men. We know that the Mormont crew is looking. Someone in there is going to be looking to become a leader because they ain't got anyone else left. How long will this episode be? 80 minutes ish. So just as long as last week. Although not all battle sequence. Helen saved young Ned's life at the Tower of Joy. Oh, okay. That flashback thing. Cool. Yeah, my wife was so happy when that R plus L equals J, I think it was, thing came about. She was all psyched about that one. And I was like, well, whatever. Because it took another 2 years before it got around to John. House Glow from the Deepwood. Whoa, Jeff knows all this stuff. Cold. Nice. I like having Jeff around. If I need any kind of thing, he's like the Google for Game of Thrones. I like it. Yeah, so this is it. Their word for third, like how they have pentultimate for next week and an ultimate. I don't know. But pardon me while I take a little zerp. So yeah, so there's 3 more weeks, and you guys are going to get a special finale pre-Game of Thrones show, because that is the first full day of our vacation, and we are going to be streaming from the beautiful beaches of Ocean City, New Jersey. Clever, see? Haha. I say that like I knew. So that's going to be great, and the next 2 weeks we should have my lovely wife back, and I don't think anyone else in the vacation house watches, so there won't be any special guests. But yeah, we are starting to get along. I think I covered everything. Potential stuff going on for this week is just going to be them gathering up everyone, starting to head down that way. You know that there's going to be a metric ton of drama between Dany and Jon about the throne. And Jon's in the worst position possible. He's like, man, I don't even want this. I thought I just had everything worked out, and I just have to work with the people in the north. And they would have been so happy because we ended up killing them and getting past all these problems. Of course, they would have said, well, it was just Arya anyway, and we didn't need her, but what's going on? And it would have been all over the place. But I think Jon would much rather have just had to deal with his north people than to deal with all this mess going on. He's supposed to be in charge of everyone. He doesn't want to do it. I'm telling you, this ends with Arya on the throne wearing someone else's face. Even though she doesn't want to be in politics, she knows how things should be run, and she could do it as someone else. So she kills Cersei and takes her face off and sits on the throne. Or Dany. Yeah, I could see her killing Dany. You don't really love my brother. When he told you who he was, the first thing you said was that he has a stronger claim to the throne. But let me tell you, that maneuver last week, that was some good stuff. I saw that dagger fall like 25 times on all the reaction videos that I watched, and it was glorious each and every time. I am here for Arya doing whatever it is she wants. I like that character. She was adorable early, and now she's a badass, and whew, all over the place. Anyway, all right, let's play us out a little bit with a little bit of music in the background there, and see if anyone has any questions in chat, or not having seen the leak, predictions they want to make for deaths this week. Oh, one important thing I did want to say, Emilia Clarke, I think that's her name, that plays Dany, was on Jimmy Kimmel Live this week, and she urged people to get as big a TV as possible to watch this week's episode. So what could that mean? That could mean anything craziness. That outfit Sansa has, yeah, her yeah, trying to be nice and keep it reasonable in here. That is a good outfit that she's wearing. I never noticed the chain thing that whoever is in charge of Winterfell wears before, but like that's the only thing that stands out in that outfit. Her and Sansa got the clothing on point. You could tell that those two hang out in real life, because they're both like trying to one up each other in their outfits. 78 minutes. I don't think it's 78 minutes. It's 80 minutes, man. The 2 minutes matters. And I think that the whole post-show thing is included in that runtime. for some reason. I have a sneaky suspicion about that, because that's a good source of information. If you're watching these shows and bailing out right after the preview for next week, do yourself a favor, stick through the credits rolling, and there's like a 5 to 10, 12 minute thing at the end of the episode where the creators of the show and director and different people involved in the show talk about what you just watched. Saying the spoiler, I don't know what she means by that. Just bad for my money pocket. Nice. All right, well, maybe then whoever was pushing that around where I saw that was about this past week's episode. Well, maybe that's what it was. So that kind of makes me sad. But my wife and I had a laugh over that one because we're ridiculous people. Anywho, all right, I'm gonna go and prep the old snacks and start shutting off lights in the TV room and getting all comfy. I hope everyone enjoys the episode tonight, and if anything too crazy happens, I'll be back, but I really doubt it. For tonight, tune in Tuesday, where we will talk a little bit Game of Thrones, Tuesday night, 9:30 here on these channels you're watching me on now. And a little bit about Game of Thrones, but also a whole lot of recap of the past 5 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because that show comes back Friday. Thank you, brother. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back Friday for season 6, and they've already been picked up for season 7. And I'm dying to see how they handle. They are going to be a year. Avengers Endgame spoilers. Actually, Avengers Infinity War spoilers, technically. So here's your chance to bail out if you haven't seen Infinity War and Endgame, technically. Yeah, but I won't even say it. I'll wait for that to say anything. Really hoping Mountain Hound Brawl. All right, good. Junior's looking for Clegane Bowl. I'm looking for all the memes that are gonna pop up if they do fight. I can't tell you how they're gonna have cheerleaders. It's gonna be ridiculous. I picture like Bud Bowl from the 90s for the Super Bowl. I picture a lot of good stuff like that. Uh-oh, I think my wife just pulled in. Let me see if she did. If she did, I will get her back here. Oh no, just now? That must be my neighbors. 11 miles away? What kind of traffic has she been hitting? That is no good. Man, that stinks. Oh well. All right, that is not the lovely wife. So I'm going to bid you all adieu, and see you Tuesday or next week for more Game of Thrones. Thank you.